September 1st, 1939 was when the biggest and deadliest war ever occurred, World War II. On a consensus from most historians, over 70 million people died in the war, most of which were innocent civilians. The Allies fighting against the Axis powers, two superpowers fighting for the fate of the world. From the war came horrifying acts of systematic genocide, mass starvation, and the creation of the atomic bomb. But even as the events were occurring, one beacon of light was growing brighter. That beacon of light was the complete revolution of the medical field. There were many innovations and advancements in the medical field during World War II. Some of these advancements were in the field of penicillin, malaria, and atomic medicine. Since its accidental discovery in 1928 by Sir Dr. Alexander Fleming, it has become one of the most widely used antibiotics in the modern world. But soon after, its usage and popularity skyrocketed due to the outbreak of the Second World War. During World War II, it was regularly used to treat bullet wounds and infections. The use of penicillin was a vital part of a soldier's life. If one of the soldiers happened to be shot or infected, they could quickly administer it with one of their personal kits. Quickly injecting penicillin into themselves rapidly killed bacteria, slowing down the spread of infection, causing the mortality rate to decrease significantly throughout the war. Even though its main purpose was to treat the soldiers' injuries during the war, it was later adapted to be used in normal, everyday life. After some time, the Allied armies noticed that their troops were dying rapidly. When the medical staff was ordered to conduct research in the tropical regions, they unsurprisingly found out that the culprit behind the large number of deaths was malaria. In order to combat the illness, they needed to find a drug or a cure to stave off the disease. In a series of experiments, the Allies created atabrine, quinine, and chloroquine. All of these newly developed medicines were mass-produced and distributed to soldiers all over the tropics in order to stop the malarial menace once and for all. Lastly, during the end of the war, there was one more advancement in one of the most controversial fields of all time, atomic medicine. After the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, scientists from all over the world quickly rushed to Ground Zero to observe the effects that high levels of radiation had on the human body. Even at low to medium exposure, radiation can have very adverse effects on the body. Some of the effects were mutations in DNA, headaches, and nausea. But at higher doses, the effects became more observable and severe. People suffering from hair loss, flash burns, and even developing early signs of cancerous tumors. However, those killed in the war did not die in vain. As the flames of war eventually died down, medical practitioners and world leaders took this information and learned from them as to make sure another event like this never happens again, procuring the safety of the entire world and entrusting the future to the coming generations.